Hi, everyone, and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host, Gina Parker. I am here with Sadie Teal.
What's up?
And Sadie, what are you watching, reading, listening to? Things.
I just went and saw a movie, but my brain is so tired because I've been really busy. Like last night, I did this fake arm wrestling event, and I was playing this character called Nameless, who like possesses a member of the audience to distract their opponent, and that was a lot of fun. But as part of that character, I have this blank mask that I wear with no mouth and just eye holes. And I've played this character before, but the last time I played it, I was wearing a low bun. And this time I had like my bun kind of in the middle of my head. And I didn't test this out before going on stage. And I put on that rubber mask. And the moment I did, like the mouth like stuck to my mouth and like the eyes went way up, excuse my coughing, way up my head until I could only see like a little tiny sliver. But at that point they were calling my name, so it was too late.
Oh
So I went
no.
out on stage and I was literally like I like blacked out, but I was like, this isn't good. I might choke up here. And I was like, I can't see shit. And then, but apparently it turned out okay. But afterwards, I was like, what the? Like, I ripped my mask off when I got backstage, and I was just like, holy shit, I need to never do that again.
You know
But
what's
yeah,
the
that's
scariest thing about that is that if you did fall down, people would think it was a bit. They wouldn't know you were
yeah, they'd be like,
suffocating.
yeah, they'd be like, oh man, she's selling really well.
Yeah, that's
No,
scary.
I would just be dying. But I was like, I couldn't see anything. I was like, God, I hope I'm pointing the right direction because it was all this like kind of coordinated thing where I had to work with these two other people. It was, but you know what? These are the adventures of life, you know?
I suppose.
Yeah,
I haven't been in the exact same situation, but I'm
yeah.
sure one of the adventures.
But other than that, it was a beautiful event. But I honestly have been doing more stuff and I haven't been watching that much. There is a show called Sympathizer that I'm watching right now that is about the Vietnam War, a spy that is like a spy for Vietnam, but he has to navigate like working between the CIA of America and like it's really very good. But yeah, what have you been watching?
I'm only on the first episode of that show because I'm just so behind on every show. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all stacked up on on the list. I'm glad to hear that one's good. How far are you into it?
We're 3 episodes in and I really enjoy it. I think it's the directing is awesome. Like throughout it, you'll see these like incredible transitions from scene to scene. So if you end up watching more episodes, watch out for those transitions because it's really cool to go from like a bamboo wallpaper to real bamboo. It's really beautifully done.
Oh, that's nice. And I hear
Mm-hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. plays multiple
Yes,
roles.
he does. I didn't even recognize him in the first episode. I thought he was like one of those weirdo actors that just lives overseas. Like, have you ever seen like stuff from Japan or stuff from Korea where it's like they cast an American and it's like the weirdest guy on earth? It's just like some actor that lives over there that just gets jobs just for to play like the big boss American guy, that kind of guy. I thought that was one of those. I didn't even realize it was Robert Downey Jr.
Do you have you ever seen those shows where they cast someone as the American, but they're really not American? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
there
a
was a
French, a heavy French accent on him.
yeah, I was watching the show Hand Offs. I I don't know how to speak German, but it was a lot of years ago. But they had like this one that was from America, and she was from America. That was her whole deal. Like, oh, cool American girl comes through, but she had like the worst American accent of anyone on the show. Like the other German characters had better American accents, but
Let's go get hamburgers, like
yeah,
I do in America. See, I
exactly.
always like fantasize like if things go wrong, like to just move to Japan and try to be an actor out there and see what would happen.
Just to
Like,
be the American in every show.
yeah, yes, or like sign up to do one of those like insane prank shows. Like, did you ever see it was like downtown Nogaki? It was five, maybe four Japanese comedians and they would like go through like Batsu games, which were punishment games, and they would cast like crazy characters and stuff. I was like, if I could go over to Japan and live that kind of life where I just do embarrassing stuff for money, that might be fun.
It would be fun. I could
Yeah,
see you doing that.
yeah, totally. It would be the best. But yeah, what
Uh,
else have you been watching?
I finished Welcome to Wrexham, the
Hmm.
new season, which there's not much to write home about there. It's a documentary TV show about a Welsh soccer team, and
Nice.
it was a lot less episodes this season, which I think is a good thing. I think in the previous seasons, they've wasted too much time on trying to
Mm,
fill, fill a half hour. So now it's just 8 hour long episodes, which I think is better.
nice. Yeah, I always feel that way too about like, the comparison between British comedy and American comedy where, people put British comedy on this big pedestal, but they have a lot less episodes to create. So, by comparison, American shows are like stretched out so much because they have to fill 22 episodes or whatever. I like when it's like a short, like super intentional, this is exactly what we wanted the show to be kind of season.
Yeah, if you have like a year to write 6 episodes versus
Yeah.
just like nonstop creating for 9 months, 10 months, however you're staying in the writer's room to create 25 episodes, it's like it's a difference.
Total difference. Exactly. It's like comparing like a mini series to like a soap opera type of thing, which,
Speaking
by
of,
the way, how's the soap going?
well, we're now in 1983, so this will be our 15th episode of the podcast. We've gone through 13, I guess technically
Whoa.
14 years. So we keep on trucking, moving along.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll start with a clip from the week of January 10th, 1983. Nina got caught cheating on her husband, Cliff. And so he kicks her out, and then she goes and stays with the guy she was cheating with, but hides when her dad comes. So there's that. Next episode, January 21, 1983. Tad Martin returns to town. He's in jail. There's a threat of prison rape, which is not great, but
Probably not handled the best, I'm sure.
no, but
Yeah.
it's what finally makes Tad call his family and come home to Pine Valley. If accuses Nina of kidnapping their son, Bobby, but she didn't. Donna brought him over, but he's still mad about her cheating, as we just mentioned, so he's still pissed. So Greg and Jenny, they're this young couple. He's rich, she's poor. His mom doesn't want him to get together, but they're like, we're gonna get
Classic.
together anyway. And so his mom just overdosed on pills. She's alive, but they feel guilty about the overdose.
Well, that's not their fault.
Yeah.
You can't blame
She,
me. If I could be like the therapist for these characters for just 1 second, you really you can't take that kind of responsibility for somebody
mhm,
else.
absolutely. They're just such nice kids, Sadie, you know? They're just such nice kids. They just take it all
So
on,
wholesome.
but they shouldn't. You're right.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't let go of that guilt.
Uh, February 16th, 1983, Erica shoots a commercial. She's doing a big modeling thing, and Nina is upset to see Cliff and Linda together, who is just like some one night stand type thing. So
Mm.
no one cares. Tad skips class and tries to hustle money, fresh out of prison.
Yeah.
And and Angie tries to make time for her boyfriend Jesse. They were like the first African American super couple of the
Mm.
show, so nice.
Cool.
February 25th, 1983. This is just like a little partial of an episode. Amanda feels guilty for helping Tad with his scheme. So Tad has started a rivalry with like the president of the film club this nerd named Alfred Vanderpool, who I think is our kind of
Ooh.
people personally.
How is he playing the character? Is it like a I'm a nerd? Like how is it? Is it very caricaturesque or is it like a nice like regular person?
Caricature. Yeah.
That's that's my favorite. I'm glad.
hmm And so basically, Tad is trying to get revenge on him for just being mildly annoying, I guess. Alfred's doing like a school movie event, like a film club event, and Tad is switching out his movie with a porn movie.
He's gonna be
And
the coolest kid in school.
Amanda feels really guilty about helping him like bully this guy, but she's dating Tad, so she's kind of like, oh, I guess I'm doing this. But it actually ends up backfiring on Tad
Hmm.
because his sister ran away from home the previous summer and was taken in by some unscrupulous people who
Oh
recorded
no,
her.
it's not his sister in the porno, is it?
It's not her body, it's her face that they recorded.
What?
But
That's
I mean,
wild. Did it look
yes,
like a pasted face digitally on a body? How would they even do that at that time in TV making?
I guess they would just like they'd shoot people having sex and then for the close-ups they'd show her face. um
Oh, that makes sense. I was thinking of like literally like a CG solution of like mapping one face to another. I was like, damn, this is some high production pornography that they're doing here. But yeah,
well,
cutaways, that makes more sense.
and also it's like d are we looking at their faces a lot during like I mean her character ends up being a model, so it's like, yeah, I guess you're pretty, but like feels like an unnecessary amount of work for a
Yeah,
porn
I'm
movie.
sure that that other actress is fine. It's like a weird way they wanted to like preserve her innocence, where it's like she's been in porn, but she wasn't really in porn. It was like, you know what I mean? It's
hmm
some little distance that she has from it.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah, it's weird. So anyway, the scheme backfires on Tad, which brings us to kind of talk about our next clip now, which is basically his sister came home, she went back to school, she's in school with him, so she sees her face on this porn and is horrified
Oh
because she's like,
no.
I didn't do no porn, but now everyone in the school thinks I did. And so she runs off and runs onto a catwalk. That's, I
What?
guess, because they're doing a film screening, maybe the auditorium where they do plays has a catwalk. So
Interesting.
so she runs onto the catwalk. Her boyfriend Greg, rich guy, comes chasing after her to comfort her. He loses his balance, falls down. Boom, he's
No.
paralyzed.
Oh no. Did he give like a big no as he was falling?
hmm And
Oh.
and so our March 1st clip is like he realizes he can't move his toes anymore. He was feeling okay. He's like comforting her, like, hey, I know it's not you. I know you didn't really do that movie. I know you. And then he's like, wait a second, I can't move my legs. I can't move my toes. And so he's paralyzed. That's where we leave. Poor Greg.
Damn. Poor Greg.
And then we have
Pretty
Mark.
dangerous catwalk. They got to get rid of that thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in the school.
It should not be in the school.
Why
How
do
tall
students
was
have
it that he's
access
like,
to it?
yeah.
It was tall-ish, I guess. He fell from a height. I guess like
Okay.
if we think of like an auditorium, you did theater in high
Ish,
school, like
yeah.
I don't remember your high school. Well, I don't think it was that big of a stage.
No,
I
it
I,
wasn't.
I think my high school had a bigger
Yes,
stage.
the other one had a bigger one. Yeah, I think you guys had a better program and stuff too.
Yeah,
I think it's
Heidi,
like
our
that.
other friend, was in plays over at our high school.
Yes, and she had the same director that like had taught at my school, went over to your school, being generic, and we both hated her. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, that teacher. Like she playfully gave out dog tags at the end of the production because she's like, "If you survive a production with me," like, ugh, it's annoying.
Take it you tossed your dog tag.
No, I still have them. I actually value them quite highly.
So she was actually right.
Yeah, probably.
If we can pause for a minute, wasn't there one where you was it arsenic and old lace where
Yes.
you were a cop who was a man,
No,
but then by the end you were a woman?
okay, that was an accident. That was, yes. It wasn't arsenic and old lace. I don't even know what play it was. It was some take on a murder mystery, and it was like, but it was like a parody of a murder mystery, you know, like one of those like wannabe Agatha Christie plays. Like literally, the character that was like the main character was called Agatha Christie, I think. It was like a slant off of one of those, and yeah, basically my castmate knocked my hat off and my wig flew off.
I like that as a twist ending, personally.
Yeah,
That
it was
was a play
fun.
I had to miss tragically because I was babysitting, but hearing that end reveal that I missed, it still haunts
It
me.
was I think honestly they amped it up way more than it actually was. There was no such like, ha, yes, it is I, a woman. Here's what happened. My wig got knocked off and my castmate went, "You're a woman?" And it was improvised. And yes, honestly best laugh of the night.
There you go.
Wouldn't take it back.
Mark vowed to get Ellen back, which is his wife. They were a very popular couple, and Nina is mad at Palmer for, I think, her own life decisions. So hard to find a leg to stand on there. Pal Chat podcast. I'm not guaranteeing Sadie Teal because she's too busy, but on
Maybe not. We'll see.
July 11th,
Mm-hmm.
Thursday at 7 o'clock, we're having a live trivia contest. I'll put the link in the show notes.
Nice.
And so fans, you can come. It's going to be on Zoom. You'll type your little answers to the trivia questions in the chat. Winner gets a $25 Amazon gift card. So it'll be fun. Like and subscribe, support the podcast. Oh, and we have a new subscriber, Polly. I should have
Polly.
acknowledged you earlier, Polly. Thank you for
Nice.
subscribing. I think that's it for this week. Thank you to Sadie for joining me in the midst of
Yeah.
your busy filmmaking. I appreciate it.
Oh, life, it's just so busy. I feel like such an asshole every time I talk about. Really, it's just me taking on a bunch of shit I don't need to because I get too excited. And then I'm like, what did I do? I need to get a better calendar.
Well, this is one of the things you probably took on because that you didn't need to, and I'm happy to hear your voice. So
Anytime.
we will see you next week. Perhaps not Sadie again. She's got a lot of big stuff coming up, but we'll start talking about Erica Fest, which is her on the run for murder after the death of her boyfriend Kent Bogard. We'll get into it.
Well,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.